Wildrose has been calling for a transparent and prioritised infrastructure list for years. A new session, and still it's missing. This doesn't sit right because nearly a year ago now, the NDP promised Albertans they would implement a sunshine list to end the backroom politics in infrastructure. Minister, last year your department lapsed $1 billion in capital spending. Is this going to be another case of one thing said in opposition and another in government, or will you release the list?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I can assure the honourable member that the list will be released, and I ask him to wait for the budget and the capital plan that goes with that.
Mr. Speaker, the minister's actions and his words don't add up, given the NDP slammed the former government for putting, quote, political interests at the top of the infrastructure list. Now he's doing the very same thing that he once condemned. Given the government killed Bill 203, which would have limited government announcements during election campaigns, Minister, will you do the right thing? And unless there's a non-political emergency, commit to making no more transportation or infrastructure announcements with taxpayer dollars in the middle of the Calgary by-election.
I think I can undertake to do that, Mr. Speaker.
Second supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's much appreciated. Given without an infrastructure policy priority list, smaller communities are going to have to make some very hard planning decisions this year, and given that Albertans are worried about aging and missing infrastructure in their communities, and they can't afford to pay $1,000 a head to talk to this government, Minister, if you aren't going to release a fully transparent sunshine list, will you at least commit to full transparency around what projects are being approved and what projects are being rejected under the small communities component of the Building Canada Fund?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I know that the Minister of Municipal Affairs will want to have some more comments on that particular program, which is ministered from her department. But I just want to point out, I've got the 5-year plan of the Wildrose, which is in the absence of a budget. Mr. Speaker, the Wildrose wants to spend about $24.6 billion on infrastructure, which is $9.4 billion cut over what this government wants. So they can't have it both ways, Mr. Speaker. They can't have roads and bridges in their...
Thank you, Honourable Minister.